How to play the game of money and win it. Did you notice what I said there? I said the game of money. That is so key, okay? I'm going to teach you guys exactly step by step how you can really win the game of money. Now, the beautiful thing about the game of money is you don't have to come in first, second, or third place. You could come in literally 5 millionth place and you are still doing unbelievably well for yourself. You can have all the financial freedom in the world. You can buy pretty much anything you could possibly want, and you could come in 5 millionth place, okay? That's the beautiful thing. You don't need to finish 1, 2, or 3. You could finish way back there and still do phenomenal, okay? Now, I call it the game of money for a few reasons, okay? For some of us males out there, we feel like we're not very entertained, we're not very interested in something unless it's a game. Unless we're treating it as a game, it's like whatever. We get really bored really freaking fast, okay? And so if we treat something like a game, if all of a sudden we see, a game break out, we can go from like being asleep, like whatever, to all of a sudden we see a game and we're like, hey, what's this over here? Oh, I can win or lose at this? Oh, now this gets real interesting. Now this starts getting fun. So many people are going through life not treating it like it's a game. They're just treating it as whatever. If you're treating it as whatever, you're never going to be good at the game of money. You cannot just go through the ropes unless you inherit a ton of money. That's literally the only way, is if you inherit a ton of money, then you can just sleepwalk through the game of money, okay? Because you just were blessed with that talent. No different than a sport. Some athletes have so much talent that they could put in minimal or no effort and they still are great at that sport, right? It's the same thing in the money life. If you just inherited, $10 million or something, or $20 million from your father and mother or whatever, great. You don't even need to really do anything in life. Like you made money and that's cool for you. You were just happen to be blessed in the 0.1% of people who happen to be in that situation. For almost everybody else, that's unrealistic, okay? So you got to start treating it like it's a game, okay? So if you're treating it like it's a game, there's a few things you can do, right? If you're treating it like it's a game, so let's say you're a track sprinter, okay? You're a sprinter in track, all right? That's what I used to do in college. I was a sprinter, and I've got a lot of joy out of that. Now, as a sprinter, what do you think is pretty important? Obviously, you're going to sprint every day pretty much. You're going to do squats. You're going to do lunges after practice. You're going to do abs all the time. Those are the type of workouts that are very important. But let's say I'm a sprinter, and, I just decide I want to do curls all the time. I just go to the gym, and instead of doing squats, like I should be doing, instead of doing lunges, I'm just doing curls all day. Where do you think that's going to get me? Not very far, okay? I'm going to be a horrible sprinter if that's what I'm doing, because my curls aren't doing anything to help me in sprinting, okay? That's doing absolutely nothing. So a lot of people are treating the game of money, which is after you graduate from high school, right? Then you get swept into the game of money. So many people are treating it like it's not a game, and then so many people are over here doing curls, okay? When they're a sprinter, and what they need to be doing is they need to be doing squats and lunges and things like that when they go to the gym, and abs. So many people are over here doing the curls. What do I mean by this? Well, basically what you have is there's different ways you can make money in this world, right? So many people are flooding into the things that don't really make them money, okay? You got to go where the money's at. So when I graduated high school and I was looking around to like, how am I going to invest money? What am I going to do with my money or whatnot? I was looking around at all these different things. Savings accounts, I'm not going to get any return on that. CD accounts, I'm not going to get any return on that. I'm looking at real estate. I can't afford a real estate property or something like that to rent out. Like, that's completely unrealistic. I'm looking at bonds. No, I'm not going to make any good return there. I'm looking at all these different things, and really the only investment thing I could find that had a great chance to make money on was the stock market. So where did I go? I went to the stock market. I went to that part of the game. I'm going to go to the part of the game that's going to make me better and has a chance of moving me up the ranks, not the one that's going to leave me behind, okay? And so many people are just like flooding into, we see people going to college all the time, right? We see people going to college, and they go to college and they think they're going to make it to the promised land, and next thing you know, they're making 50, 80, 100 grand for the rest of their life, and they're like, What happened, man? I never really got to, I thought I was going to be able to make millions from this. I thought I was going to, be able to have everything I want. And really, I'm just living, paycheck to paycheck like everybody else. What ended up happening with me? Well, so many people are flooding into doing the same thing. It's a supply and demand economy. In a supply and demand economy, you have two choices. You can either go where, there's way too much supply, which is what most people do, right? Or you can go where there's not much supply, but there's a lot of demand over there, okay? That's where you want to go with things. Now, in the game of money, there are three different things you can do. You can decide you want to play defense, you can decide you want to play offense, or you can decide you want to do neither. Most people in the world, and let's just look at the United States since that's where I live, most people are not on defense or offense. They're literally doing nothing, okay? They're not on the defense, which defensive basically means you're worried about saving money and things like that. You're kind of in a protection mode, okay? Offense means you're going to get the money. That's more what you care about. That's what you're going after. You're going after more income, things like that, trying to better yourself, become an entrepreneur, whatever it is. That's where you're going. Investing, things like that. That means you're being on the offensive. Most people aren't doing either. Most people aren't saving any dang money, right? We can look at like the amount of money people have on average. It's pathetic. Even in the great United States of America, it is absolutely pathetic the amount of savings people have. So they're surely not playing defense. And if we look at what the average person's making out there, they're also not on offense. They're not on offense. They're not on defense. They're doing literally nothing. They're in the neither category, okay? Now, I personally used to be very much over on this side, okay? I used to be way over here on defense. And over time, as I became an entrepreneur and I started making money for myself, I noticed that I started moving more and more over here to the offensive side, okay? And it's very key to get over here, all right? Now, here's why this is very important. So when I was on the defensive side, I was on the defensive side for a few reasons. One, growing up, my parents were kind of always on the defensive side, save money, do this, do that, limited maybe income potential and things like that. And so that was just kind of the way my thought process was since I was a kid, play defense, play it safe, do those type of things, okay? And also, like when I got into the workforce, like it was pretty apparent to me, like I was not going to make that much more money going up the ranks. So when I was at Quick Trip, I started there, I got like 40K a year, okay? A couple years went by, next thing you know, I was making 50K. A couple years went by, then I was starting to make like 55 to 60K. And then I realized, okay, it's going to take me at least 2, 3, 4 more years to get up to the next rank where maybe I make 70K. Then probably another 5 years after that to get to a part where I'm making 90 to 100K. And it was like, there's going to be so much time that's gone by in my life and I'm just barely making these little incremental, little teeny steps along the way. So what do I have to do? I got to play defense, man. I've got to play defense in those situations. I got to worry about, every little dime I spend. I can't spend that. I can't afford that because guess what? My income potential is so limited. When your income potential is so limited and you don't have any potential to raise your income and play offense, you're always going to be stuck in that defensive mode. You're always going to be stuck in that defensive mode. And that's not really where you want to be in the end, okay? And I used to preach this. When I first started the channel, I used to preach a lot of play defense. And then I started, as I became more and more successful, I started realizing, like, as an entrepreneur, man, it's not about defense. It's all about offense. It's all about going out there and getting it, making more money, figuring out ways to make more money, coming out with successful services or products or things like that you can sell to people. That's where the money's at. And then you don't even need to worry about playing defense, okay? At that point, because you got so much money rolling in, it doesn't even matter in the end. It doesn't even matter because you're going to have $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 left over at the end of the month, even if you're living a very nice lifestyle. So when I changed from defense to offense, it was scary. When you go from defense to offense, it is scary. Basically meaning leaving my old job, right, where I was making decent money for my age group. I was making decent money at that time. To all of a sudden now I make no money. Overnight you go from making, all your bills are paid and you still got money left over to all of a sudden you make nothing. That's a scary move, guys. That is scary, and that takes a very offensive mindset to go after that and get that, right? And it's really scary at first. So you make that jump, and then you realize, okay, this is harder than I thought. And then you start going, you start getting better at things, you start getting better, you start having more success, and that breeds more success, and things start compounding in your life and whatnot, and you start realizing other ways to do things. And the next thing you know, you're full on offense, which is where you want to be. And I remember the first time I heard this, I think it was Grant Cardone, actually. I watched this random Grant Cardone video. He's also on YouTube and whatnot. Saw this random video with him, and he was talking about, like, like how, he was brought up, kind of the same way I was, to save your money and worry about every little dime you spend and this and that. And then he was like, that's a bunch of crap. What you should be focused on is you should be focused on making more money. You should be focused on going out there and being more successful as far as selling and things like that. And as far as, products and services and building your business and those type of things, you should be more focused on making money rather than saving that little dime or something. Worry about making the next dollar. That's what you should be focused on. And at first I heard it and I was like, what? I don't agree with this. I don't think so, because my mindset was defensive. And then I started to, become more open to it, and I started making more money, and then all of a sudden I realized, wow, this offensive stuff works. And nowadays I'm in the top 1% of income earners in the entire world. And my mindset's totally changed. My mindset's totally changed. So you got to ask yourself, do you want to play in the game? Do you want to play in the game? Because money is a game. Do you want to play in it? Yes or no? If it's a no, then you're always going to be lagging behind. Unless you somehow happen to inherit a ton of money or you won the lottery or something, you will always be lagging behind everybody. If you want to play the game, then you got to view it as, okay, where do I go with things, okay? Where can I actually make my money into money, okay? Where can I go and do that? And do it in a way where it's not like super, super risky, because you could also, go super risky. I could say, well, let me go down to the Las Vegas Strip and let me go, put some money on a, the craps table or whatever. That's going pretty risky there. Yeah, could I make money? Could, but the odds are stacked against me. You want to go to places where the odds are stacked for you, okay, where the odds are stacked for you, and then you have a great chance to make money, okay? When you're just putting your money in a savings account and playing defense, man, that's not going to add up to anything in the end, okay? You make $40K a year and you put some money away to a savings account, like you're not gonna ever do anything you wanted in life financially unless you had really low standards, or unless maybe you live in a country where 40K is a lot of money. In the United States, that's nothing. I mean, in the United States, that's borderline poverty. And especially if you live in some of the more expensive places like LA or Seattle or New York or some of those places, like you are the poverty level making 40K a year. So you got to ask yourself, do you want to play offense? Do you want to play defense? Do you want to do neither? That's the worst one. Neither is the worst one. If I had to pick, I would way rather play defense than do neither one, because neither one is what most people are participating in. They don't make a lot of money, and the money they do make, they spend it all, and they have nothing left over ever to even invest or do anything. That's never a situation you want to be in. So if you're going to play one of these, you definitely want to play defense over neither. But offense is what will change your life, okay? That's what will change your life, and it is scary to go to that side. It's really scary, especially when you've been a defensive player your whole life, but offense is where it is at, guys. So that is the game of money. And remember, it's a supply and demand economy. If you're going where, everybody else is already at, then you're probably going to get eaten up there. There's probably not much opportunity for you. But if you can do something in this world where it has a lot of demand out there and there's not much supply of people doing it, that's when you go full offensive and you really change your life for the better. But make sure you're viewing it as a game. If you're not viewing it as a game, then you're going to get bored with it. You're not going to want to achieve more. And I've seen, as so many athletes, I was always in athletics, right? I played football all 4 years of high school. Then I did track in college. I was a sprinter. And I was always around these people that were hyper competitive. They were hyper competitive because it was a game, and they treat it like that, and they want to be the best. And so many of those same athletes aren't doing anything nowadays. And I just realized the reason they're not doing anything and they're just floating, they're not doing either, because they're not viewing the game of money as a game. They're just viewing like life after, college or life after high school is just whatever is going on is whatever is going on. They're not treating it like it's a game. Until you start treating it like it's a game, you will not be able to be successful. Any person who's ever been successful in this world, they all view it as a big game, guys. They all view it as a big game. I 100% guarantee you, I don't care if you're talking about Buffett or Bill Gates, I don't care if you're talking about Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, every single person, they all view it as a game. It's all a game in their head. How successful can they be? How big can they make the company? How much can they change this world? How much money can they make? How much money can they donate through philanthropy and those type of things? That's what it's about, guys. It's a game. It's a game. Treat it as such. Thank you for watching and have a great day.